I never thought a wrong number text would destroy my life and rebuild it in the same afternoon. My name is Marcus, and for 7 years, I'd been the family's Easter hero. Every single year, without fail, I hosted the entire Henderson clan at my house. 23 people, 23 mouths to feed with honey-glazed ham, scalloped potatoes, 3 types of salad, fresh baked rolls, and enough desserts to stock a bakery. 23 people who tracked mud through my house, let their kids jump on my furniture, and left me with a sink full of dishes that took until Tuesday to finish. And every single year, I paid for everything. "Marcus, you're just so good at this," my sister Linda would say, kissing my cheek while her husband Dave loaded a plate with seconds. "You're the glue that holds this family together." According to YouTube analytics, 99.6% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, you'll help support the channel and never miss fresh content. My brother Kevin would clap me on the shoulder. "Best Easter ever, bro. You really outdid yourself." Even Mom would tear up a little. "Your father would be so proud of how you take care of everyone." Dad had died 8 years ago, right before that first Easter I hosted. Mom had been devastated, lost. I'd stepped up because that's what the oldest son does. That's what Dad would have wanted. I took the burden off her shoulders and carried it myself. I won't lie, it was expensive. The food alone ran me close to $800. Then there were the decorations Linda insisted made it feel festive. The egg hunt supplies for the kids, the new outdoor furniture I bought last year because Linda complained the old set was embarrassing. All told, each Easter cost me nearly $2,000. But it was worth it, I told myself. Family is worth it. I'm a high school teacher. I make decent money, but I'm not rich. My wife Sarah and I had been trying to save for a real honeymoon. We'd done a quick weekend trip when we got married 5 years ago because money was tight. We had a jar in the kitchen labeled Italy Fund. It never seemed to grow much. "Maybe next year," Sarah would say, counting the bills. Then Easter would come and I'd empty the jar. She never complained, not once. But I saw the disappointment in her eyes every time she looked at that empty jar. This year, I'd been determined to make it different. I'd started saving in January, picking up extra tutoring gigs, cutting back on everything. By March, we had almost $3,000 saved. Sarah's eyes lit up when she counted it. "Marcus, we could actually go," she whispered. "We could actually see Rome." I was going to tell the family. I really was. I was going to say that this year, Easter needed to be at someone else's house. Kevin's place was huge. Linda had that fancy kitchen she always bragged about. It was someone else's turn. But then Mom called. "Marcus, honey, I've been thinking about your father so much lately." Her voice cracked. Easter was his favorite holiday, the whole family together. It meant everything to him. My resolve melted like butter in the sun. "It's okay, Mom. We'll do it at my place, just like always." Sarah's face fell, but she nodded. She understood. She always understood. So I emptied the Italy Fund again. I bought the ham, the ingredients, the decorations. I rented extra tables and chairs. I even hired someone to deep clean the house beforehand because Linda had made some comment last year about dust. The Wednesday before Easter, I was at the grocery store, loading the trunk with bags, when my phone buzzed. A text message, except it wasn't sent to me directly. I'd been added to a group chat. The name of the chat made my blood run cold. Easter planning, no Marcus. My finger hovered over the screen. This had to be a mistake. Someone had added me accidentally. I opened it. The messages loaded and my world tilted sideways. Linda. "Is everyone chipping in for the gift basket this year?" Kevin. "Yeah, I got $50. We doing the same as last year?" Dave, Linda's husband. "We should do more. He's been the holiday parasite for 7 years. LOL. Linda. Dave, but honestly, it's getting old. Kevin. Mom, you think he'll finally get the hint after this year? Mom. Oh, I hope so. I love Marcus, but I'm tired of pretending his cooking is good, and that house is so small for all of us. My phone almost slipped from my hands. Linda. Remember last year when Sarah wore those clearance store clothes? I felt embarrassed for her. Kevin's wife, Michelle. They clearly can't afford this. Why do they keep insisting? Linda. Pride? IDK, but the ham is always dry. Kevin. True. Remember 3 years ago? That thing was like leather. Dave. So, we're all agreed? We go, we eat. We give him the gift basket with like $200 in it, and we still come out ahead? Linda. Way ahead. We'd spend at least $500 per family if we had to actually contribute. Mom. I feel a little bad. Kevin. Mom, you said it yourself. Dad would have never spent this much on Easter. Marcus is just trying too hard to be dad and failing. Mom. You're right. Your father knew how to do holidays properly. Marcus just, well, he tries. Linda. So same plan? We act grateful, take pics for Facebook, give him the basket, and let him keep thinking he's the family hero? Kevin. Dave. The holiday parasite strikes again. Michelle. Does anyone else think it's weird how he never suggests going anywhere else? Like he needs the attention? Linda. Narcissist much? I sat in the grocery store parking lot for an hour, rereading those messages. Each word was a knife, and by the end, I was bleeding from 1,000 cuts. 7 years. 7 years of sacrifice, of emptying my savings, of watching Sarah's dreams evaporate so I could give my family the Easter my father would have wanted. And they thought I was a parasite. They mocked my cooking. They pitied my wife. They thought I was doing this for attention, that I was a narcissist, a cheap fraud riding their coattails. The gift basket. I remembered it now. Every year, at the end of the day, they'd present me with this elaborate basket full of expensive crackers, fancy cheeses, wine. For being the best host, they'd say. I'd been so touched, so grateful. It was guilt money, hush money. $200 to soothe their consciences for the $2,000 worth of food they consumed. And my mother, God, my mother. Every year she'd cry and say Dad would be proud. She'd been lying to my face. She thought I was trying too hard, failing to live up to his memory. The hurt transformed into something else, something cold and sharp. I drove home in a daze. Sarah took one look at my face and knew something was wrong. Marcus, I showed her the messages. She read in silence, her hand coming up to cover her mouth. When she finished, tears streamed down her face. But they weren't sad tears. How dare they? She whispered. How dare they? I've been a fool, I said. No, she grabbed my hands. You've been kind. You've been generous. You've been everything they don't deserve. We stayed up all night, and we planned. Easter Sunday arrived bright and beautiful. I was up at dawn, not cooking, but preparing. At 10 a.m., my phone started buzzing. Linda, on our way, can't wait. Kevin, ETA 30 mins. Mom, see you soon, sweetheart. At 11 a.m., they started arriving. Cars pulled into my driveway, my street. Kids jumped out, already hyped up on candy from their Easter baskets. Adults carried bottles of cheap wine, their token contribution. Linda was first through the door, arms outstretched. Marcus, happy Easter! I smiled. Happy Easter, Linda. Everyone, come in. They flooded in, a tide of pastel dresses and sport coats. They filled my living room, talking loudly, laughing. The kids immediately started running around. So what's for dinner? Kevin asked, rubbing his hands together. That ham smelling good? Actually, I said, raising my voice so everyone could hear. Before we get to that, I want to say something. The room quieted. Mom smiled at me, that proud smile I'd craved for 7 years. "I want to thank you all for coming," I said. "For 7 years, this Easter tradition has meant everything to me." "Aw, Marcus," Linda cooed. "Let me finish." My voice was pleasant, but something in my tone made them pause. You see, I was added to a group chat by mistake this week. Linda's face went white. Kevin's smile froze. A group chat called Easter Planning No Marcus. The room went silent. Completely, utterly silent. "I got to read some really interesting messages," I continued, "about how I'm a holiday parasite, about how my cooking is terrible and my wife dresses poorly, about how you all pool money for a gift basket to make yourselves feel better about letting me foot the bill for everything." "Marcus," Mom started. "I'm not finished." My voice was steel now. "I've spent nearly $14,000 over 7 years making Easter special. I've sacrificed vacations, savings, my own dreams because I thought, stupidly, that I was honoring Dad's memory and keeping this family together." "Son, we can explain," Kevin tried. "Still not finished." I took a breath. "So I decided to make this Easter memorable, different." I gestured to my dining room. They all turned to look. The table was set beautifully. Plates, silverware, glasses, candles. Everything perfect, everything empty. "There's no food," Linda said stupidly. "Oh, there's food," I said. "There's a beautiful honey-glazed ham, scalloped potatoes, fresh rolls, 3 types of salad, and 6 different desserts." Hope flickered in their faces. "It's all at St. Mary's Community Center downtown. I donated everything this morning to their Easter dinner for families in need, people who will actually appreciate it." "You what?" Dave exploded. "I spent $2,000 on this Easter," I said calmly, "just like every year. But this year, it's going to people who deserve it, people who won't call me a parasite behind my back." "Marcus, this is crazy," Linda shrieked. "We have 23 people here. Kids." "Yes, you do, and I suggest you take them to a restaurant." "Oh, but wait, those are expensive, aren't they? You'll all have to pay your own way. How terrible." "This is unacceptable." Mom's voice shook. "Your father would be ashamed." Something in me snapped. "Dad," I roared. The room actually recoiled. "You want to talk about Dad? Dad, who, according to your group chat, knew how to do holidays properly? Who would never spend this much on Easter?" I pulled out my phone, pulled up a photo I'd found digging through old albums last night. Dad standing in front of our old house, Easter 7 years before he died. In the background, visible through the window, was a table sagging under the weight of food. "Dad spent a fortune on holidays," I said. "I found his old credit card statements in the attic. He spent more than I do. But you know what? He had Mom to help him. He had you 2 lazy parasites contributing. He didn't do it alone while being mocked." I opened my laptop, turned it around. I'd screen captured every single message from that group chat. "I've sent these to every single person in this room," I said. "Check your phones, check your emails. I want everyone to see exactly what kind of people my mother, my brother, and my sister really are." Phones started buzzing around the room. Faces changed as people read. Cousins, aunts, uncles, in-laws. The ones who'd been in the chat looked panicked. The ones who hadn't looked horrified. "You called him what?" Kevin's wife Michelle was reading Linda's messages. "Linda, you said his wife." "It was just venting," Linda cried. "For 7 years?" Aunt Carol's voice cut through the chaos. "Sharon, you let your son do this? You participated in mocking him?" Mom's face was crimson. "It wasn't like that." "It was exactly like that," I said. "And now it's over. This tradition is over. This version of our family is over." "You can't just end Easter," Kevin shouted. "Watch me," I said. Sarah and I are going to Italy. We're leaving tonight, actually. We'll be gone for 2 weeks. We're using the money I didn't spend on feeding you ungrateful parasites. Tonight? Mom whispered. Our bags are in the car, Sarah said, speaking for the first time. She stood beside me, and I'd never loved her more. We've been packed since Wednesday. So here's what's going to happen, I said. You're all going to leave. You're going to figure out your own Easter, and you're going to think long and hard about how you treated someone who loved you. Marcus, please. Mom reached for me. I stepped back. Don't. I read what you wrote. Every word. You want to know what Dad would think? He'd think I was a fool for wasting 7 years on people who didn't appreciate it. We do appreciate, Linda started. No, you don't, Sarah interrupted. You appreciate having someone to exploit. That's not the same thing. The room erupted into chaos. Arguments broke out. People started gathering their kids, their things. Some tried to apologize, but I couldn't hear it over the roaring in my ears. Kevin got in my face. You're going to regret this. No, I said quietly. I regret the last 7 years. This I'm going to enjoy. Linda was crying, mascara running. We're family. Family doesn't do what you did, I said. Now get out of my house. It took 20 minutes for everyone to leave. Some left angry, some left crying, some left ashamed. I didn't care which was which. When the last car pulled away, the house fell silent. Sarah and I looked at each other. Did that really just happen? She asked. That really just happened, I said. We grabbed our bags and drove straight to the airport. Italy was beautiful. Rome, Florence, Venice. Every city more stunning than the last. Sarah cried when she saw the Colosseum. We held hands in the Sistine Chapel. We got lost in Venice's winding streets and didn't care. We didn't check our phones. We turned off data, put everything on airplane mode except for emergencies. It was the best 2 weeks of my life. When we landed back home, I finally turned on my phone. 147 missed calls, 206 text messages, 63 voicemails. I deleted them all without reading or listening, except one email. It was from Aunt Carol with the subject line, "You should know." I opened it. Marcus, I'm writing because you deserve to know what happened after you left. The family imploded. People who weren't in that chat are furious with Sharon, Linda, and Kevin. There have been screaming matches. Linda and Dave are barely speaking. Apparently, he's been calling you worse things than Parasite for years, and she's finally hearing how awful it sounds. Kevin's wife is staying with her mother. And your mother? Well, the family isn't being kind to her. She lied to everyone, apparently. Some people are saying they won't attend anything she hosts ever again. I want you to know that some of us had no idea what was happening. If I'd known you were paying for everything, I would have insisted on contributing. Many of us would have. They lied to us too, said everyone chipped in. I don't know if you'll ever forgive them. But I hope you know that not everyone in this family is like them. Some of us actually love and appreciate you. Welcome home. I hope Italy was wonderful. Love, Aunt Carol, I showed Sarah. Are you going to respond? She asked. Maybe to Aunt Carol, I said. Eventually. 3 months passed. Summer arrived, hot and heavy. I got a letter in the mail, handwritten, from Mom. I almost threw it away, but curiosity won. Marcus, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know something. When your father died, I was angry, so angry. Angry at God, at fate, at him for leaving me. And when you stepped up to do Easter, part of me resented it. You weren't him. You couldn't be him. Every year, I saw you trying so hard, and it just reminded me that he was gone. So I let myself be cruel. I let myself pick apart what you did because it felt better than admitting I was grateful. Admitting I was grateful meant admitting he was really gone and you were what I had instead. That was unfair. It was unforgivable. You are not a replacement for your father. You are your own man, and you've been a better son than I deserved. You gave 7 years of your life trying to keep this family together, and we repaid you with mockery. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just asking that you know I was wrong, so completely, utterly wrong. And if I could take back every word, every lie, every cruel comment, I would. Your father would be proud of you. I know that now, and I'm ashamed it took losing you to realize it. I love you. I'm sorry. Mom, I read it 3 times, set it down, picked it up again. What are you thinking? Sarah asked. I'm thinking, I don't know, I admitted. Part of me wants to burn this. Part of me wants to frame it. You don't have to decide now, she said. You don't have to decide ever. She was right. Thanksgiving came. Normally, I'd have been planning, prepping, stressing. Instead, Sarah and I went to a restaurant, just the 2 of us. We ordered turkey and all the fixings, and we laughed when the portions were tiny and overpriced. Worth it, Sarah said, raising her wine glass. Worth every penny, I agreed. My phone buzzed. Linda, are we doing Thanksgiving at your place? I typed back, no, just that. No explanation, no justification. She didn't respond. Christmas approached. I got texts from Kevin, Linda, even Mom. Tentative feelers. What are the plans? Are we getting together? We need to talk. I ignored them all. Sarah and I spent Christmas in a cabin in the mountains. Just us. We drank hot chocolate, watched stupid movies, and made love by the fireplace. It was the best Christmas I'd ever had. New Year's Day, there was a knock on my door. I opened it to find Aunt Carol holding a casserole dish. I'm not here to convince you to forgive anyone, she said immediately. I'm here because I wanted to see you, because I love you, and because I brought green bean casserole. I laughed, actually laughed. Come in. We ate casserole and talked for hours. She told me about the family fallout. It was still ongoing. Linda and Dave had separated. Kevin was in therapy. Mom had apparently stopped going to church because she couldn't face people asking about me. Do you feel bad? Carol asked. Be honest. I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said finally. I feel free. Good, she said. You should. It's been 2 years now. Sarah and I went to Italy again last year. We're planning Japan for next summer. The Italy Fund is now the Adventure Fund, and it's growing beautifully. Some family members have reached out. Small gestures. Aunt Carol comes by every few weeks. My cousin James invited us to his wedding, and we went. It was beautiful. A few others have apologized sincerely, and we've slowly, carefully rebuilt those bridges. Linda sent a Christmas card last year. Nothing written inside except, I'm sorry. I didn't respond. Kevin called on my birthday. I let it go to voicemail. He said he understood what he did wrong, that he's working on himself, that he hopes one day I'll talk to him. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Mom's letters keep coming. One every few months. I read them all. I haven't responded yet, but I keep them in a drawer, and sometimes, late at night, I read them again. Sarah asked me recently if I regret how I handled it, if I wish I'd been less dramatic, less final. Not even a little bit, I said. Because here's the truth, I'm not a holiday parasite. I never was. I was a son trying to honor his father, a brother trying to keep his family together, a man trying to do the right thing. And they took that and twisted it into something ugly. I don't owe them forgiveness. I don't owe them another chance. I don't owe them anything. What I owe is to myself and Sarah. I owe us the life we deserve, the adventures we've dreamed of, the peace we've earned. Last Easter, Sarah and I volunteered at St. Mary's Community Center. We served dinner to 75 people, families who were grateful, who smiled, who said thank you. An elderly woman grabbed my hand as I served her ham. "God bless you," she said. "This is the best Easter dinner I've had in years." Sarah caught my eye across the room. She was smiling, tears in her eyes. That's what family should feel like. That's what generosity should feel like. Not like being bled dry while being called a parasite. My phone buzzed. A text from Linda. "Easter this year?" I didn't respond. Instead, I took Sarah's hand and we walked out into the spring. Sunshine. Behind us, the community center was full of laughter and gratitude and love. Ahead of us was whatever we wanted, and that, I've learned, is the sweetest revenge of all.